Miss Alison Moran.
Hey.
Hi, guys. Boy, you've given me a lot of ammo for today.
Well, uncork the bitch and let's go.
Before we get started, I want to ask you. I've been meaning to ask this question since we heard the news on Sunday.
Yeah.
Pam Oliver.
Yes. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
How amazing!
Isn't that incredible?
How amazing is this?
You know, not surprising at all. She is such a professional. She's somebody I took lessons from. She's somebody who braved not only the racial discrimination of this world, but the sexist discrimination of this world to raise to the top of her profession. I don't care. And the thing is that I can't think of another person who worked harder, who played through pain. Remember when she was on the air with a concussion?
Yep.
Do you remember that? About 10 years ago? It was phenomenal that she could actually eke out a broadcast. You know, you talk about some of these guys who do sideline reporting. I mean, that's nothing compared to what females go through on the sidelines.
And the thing I love about Pam Oliver, she kept showing up.
Yeah, she rose above. She rose above.
When she signed with Fox, she was at the bottom of the pile.
Yep.
That's all sideline reporters. By 2003, she was with the main team, and the main team at that time, of course, was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I will never forget how she made it in 2003 when she did the game between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles on the sideline with the main team. The next week, she copied it because it was Philadelphia and Carolina for the NFC Championship. But, man, more than kudos to Pam Oliver. She has done it all, seen it all, and now she takes her rightful place in the Sportscasting Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. I mean, if she doesn't, you know, it's kind of a shame that her profile isn't bigger, because I would have tagged her for a Ford Frick Award a long time ago. You know, I would have said, you know, look at this girl brings more to the table than 3/4 of the analysts out there. She had to go into locker rooms and, you know, deal with coaches who might or might not speak to her. She has overcome so much in order to do what she did. And, you know, and at 64, she's showing no signs of slowing down. I mean, she still has that opportunity to become a Ford Frick announcer of the year, you know, and I'm saying that is her next award in line, period.
I think so. And when they did the little vignette on her on Sunday, we had a chance to see it. She was still working the sidelines, no pads in hand, with the microphone, getting saluted by the entire crew and by the fans on the sideline. So our congratulations to Pam Oliver being elected to the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Now, Alice was loaded with ammo for today.
Oh, here we go.
Most of the ammo is on top of the ammo that I just dropped when it comes to the WNBA. So let's let it rip, Allie.
Yeah. Where do you want me to start? I could go off in many directions at this point.
You know what? I want you to start with a note that I did yesterday on the show when I dipped my toes into the water when it came to the organization called the Chicago Sky. I want you to go deep with them. I want you to rip them apart for us.
You know, somewhere in this favored land, there was a fantasy of Jeff Pagliaccia, and Tyler Marsh, that on paper all of this really looked good.
Mhm.
And I would say that if things had worked out the way it envisioned in their fantasy world, kind of like Barbie Land, that would have been a great scenario. However, you had a few flaws in that fantasy world. Number one, and first and foremost, was Tyler Marsh's management of every single game that he's ever coached by the Chicago Sky. It's like, did he learn nothing from all those years as an Aces assistant coach? What happened? What happened? It's like there has been so much game mismanagement, so many miscues. Just let me go on. The Chicago Sky Nation has been calling for his ouster and Jeff's ouster probably since mid-season, and maybe even a little before that, probably right after Courtney Vandersloot went down. He could have gotten anybody to be a point guard or a general at that point. He could have gotten anybody to replace Courtney Vandersloot. Did he? Hell no. Hell no. He didn't get a damn... What?
Who did we talk about? Ariel Cunningham, who signed with Indiana a week after Sloot went down. Ariel Cunningham was sitting right there.
Yep.
Did they think of anybody to be point guard? No, they didn't. What's more, they had what they told us at the beginning was they had a quote unquote win now attitude. They wanted to win now. That's why they got Ariel Atkins. That's why they traded away the number 3 pick to get Ariel. You know who they could have had at that position? They could have had Sonia Citron, a potential rookie of the year. They could have done that, but no. They decided that her point, the way that she had played for the Washington Mystics was good enough. It is an aberration to this franchise, to the number 3 sports market in the country. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine another group of people who have been so inept at putting together such an incredibly potentially good, absolutely fatally flawed team.
It's like Taylor Marsh has made every wrong decision he could have made.
Yeah.
Like he chose every decision. So I wouldn't pick that. I'm gonna pick it anyway.
Yeah. Why didn't? And it's phenomenal that he has lasted the whole season. But frankly, who was there to pick from? Here's what they need to do. Is they need to find a coach with some experience. Let's find a whole new coaching staff, since this one obviously isn't working. Let's rehire Spoon, for God's sakes. She's got she had a great record in the Unrivaled League. Mm-hmm. She was able to coach them into the playoffs. I'm trying to remember if they were the champions or not, but they came. The Unrivaled League is the one that is seen now as the superior league. Why? Because they have a hell of a lot of money. They have a lot more money. They were able to spend it wisely, and they got fairly decent, not so much ratings, but in terms of what social media does, they were fantastic in terms of their social media presence, and
Yes.
more people watched on the trying to think what it was, the the apps for it and things like that, things that are not measured by ratings. They are now the league to look up to, and I hate that because the traditional group. Go ahead.
I was about to say, yeah, because they ran it on the TNT app. They ran TNT TBS coverage.
Mhm.
They weren't the place where you would normally expect to have eyeballs, but
Mhm.
damn, when they had them and they had the social media interactions, the Unrivaled League was the league getting talked about.
Yeah.
Right. And they, I would say that the WNBA needs to take a page from whatever their collective bargaining agreement was and start looking at it for the next collective bargaining agreement for the WNBA, because I cannot imagine what's going to happen with the WNBA given everything that's been going on. Shall we talk about the playoff picture? Who's involved at this point?
Let's get down to it, because right now we got the
Please
8
do.
teams currently looking. Yeah, Minnesota and Vegas are your top 2. Atlanta and Phoenix. Then you got the New York Liberty, Golden State, Indiana at 7, and Seattle currently at 8. But the Sparks are knocking on that door.
They're knocking. They're not going to get in. They're knocking. I say Seattle is going to be in there. They've got Los Angeles has a game tonight, if I'm not mistaken, and and so they're meeting the Mercury on Tuesday. I don't see them beating the Mercury. I just don't. It's I'm just saying there's a glimmer of hope, but I just don't. They have to win the rest of their games until September 11th in order to make those playoffs. It's got to be the Kelsey Plum show, or it's nothing at all. So
pretty much,
yeah. So I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I see Seattle in there, but I've been wrong before. I am proudly standing on lots of wrong decisions, but I'm thinking that will be that'll probably be. The other thing you mentioned was Vegas in the second spot. Currently, that's not the case. Right now, Atlanta is holding the second place spot, and only about a half game lead over Las Vegas and Phoenix for the number 2 seed. I do believe that you're right. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so I am. So my voice, this is the best it's been in a week, I promise you. But Las Vegas has been such a powerhouse. What is it? 14 straight games now,
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
That they've won, and it's such a delight to see that, I gotta say. Asia Wilson, I say, is going to go back to back as MVP of the year, and I could see that, couldn't you guys?
Yep.
Yeah, I could. I mean, Nafisa Collier has been putting up the numbers, obviously,
Yeah.
but Age has just been a lot more persistent in what she's been able to do.
And what's more, she is more of not, I wouldn't say a one-man show, but without her in the lineup, Las Vegas Aces are at best of 4.
Yeah.
So Asia does more of the heavy lifting in the Las Vegas roster than Fee does in Minnesota. So that's why I say that while Fee has made every case for her being the MVP, I think that Asia Wilson's going to go back to back. So
that wouldn't surprise me at all. But I mean, a case can be made either way for him.
They could, for sure. Then I would say Atlanta is the likely number 3 seed, since it finishes with a home and a road game against the Connecticut Sun. I mean, Connecticut Sun, thank God for them. Otherwise, the Chicago Sky would be last in the league. So,
Right.
nonetheless, they are so pathetic. It's so sad.
It really is. And that's coming from someone who's a nor'easter saying how bad things are up here.
You know, I'm wondering what's going to happen in the off season, because that team's been up for sale. Nothing's been finalized yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Orlando in the next year. So I can't even imagine. You want to see a little sun and fun, right?
I mean, I wouldn't mind going down there to have a little bit of fun down at the beach.
Yeah, I think that this will be a real interesting time. I may join you out there. Who knows? But we
That would
will.
be fun.
I would like that. Tell Greg and Lev, okay, get your bathing suits ready. We're going to invade Orlando and watch some women's basketball. We're gonna do it.
So, Kelly, I blame you for the Las Vegas Aces.
You blame me?
I playfully blame you, because it was because of you on this show when you openly and smartly questioned, what is Becky Hammond doing?
Yeah.
Well, as my late dad would say about my 49ers, now you pissed him off.
Yeah, I know. Becky heard this and went, "Oh my God, I'm pissing Allie Moran off." I could just see it. Well, we got to get something done here, people. Come on, bitches. Let's do it.
And now to the phrase of a mutual favorite announcer of ours, the late great Jim Durham, they're flirting with the number 2 seed in the WNBA right now.
Yes, they are.
They're going to have the number 2 seed.
I'm mad now.
There's no question to my mind. I mean, once Becky Hammond can set a fire beneath them, then and they've been on fire virtually the entire second half of the season. I mean, they would not be there without Asia Wilson or Becky Hammond. Those are the two. So,
and the Aces dealt with a lot of injuries too. They lost Asia Wilson for a week. They lost Jewel Lloyd, and yet here they are, the number 2 seed in the WNBA playoffs. And Smitty, can you confirm? I'm just catching up on everything. I had to step away. LA out and Seattle in. Is that confirmed? Because I know we had to beat LA.
Currently speaking, yes.
Okay.
LA is a game behind Seattle.
LA is a game behind, but we still have games up until Thursday.
I just said Seattle is going to be it.
Okay.
I just said that I don't see the Kelsey Plum show becoming the 8th seed. It's going to be Seattle.
Well, Allie called. She says Seattle will be the 8th seed, and next week we will break down. Next week we'll break down the playoffs, because they will have gotten started. They start on Sunday, and as I said before you came on, how about this scrappy Indiana Fever Club? The team that a lot of people said they couldn't, did. They made the playoffs despite every injury in the book that they've had this year.
Despite 17 players who have gone down with injuries. You forgot to mention Ari McDonald as well. I kept saying that backstage. Ari McDonald, come on, Brian, let's do it. But
tip of my tongue, and I couldn't come up with Ari McDonald, but you did.
That's okay. That's okay. But the thing is, with the Indiana Fever, their depth is incredible, and Stephanie White has come under a ton of criticism this year, but to my mind, everybody's like, "Oh, she should be replaced." I don't think so. I think that she's done a hell of a good job with what she's had to deal with. 17 separate injuries. I mean, come on. It's
Aaron McDonald to a broken foot. They lose Sophie Cunningham to an MCL. They lose Sydney Colton to an ACL. They lost Caitlin Clark after they played in Boston. They lost to a knee injury, and that's just some of the injuries throughout the course of the season. Those are just the 5 major injuries. 17 players at different times of the season being injured. They lose 5 for the remainder of the year, and here they are sitting in the playoff hunt.
It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I would say that they deserve whatever seeding they can get. I'm guessing it's going to be 6. Personally, what do you think?
I think it'll be. You think they'll get the number 6 seed?
Yeah,
I think they'll get the number 6 seed, which means we get to beat New York.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Absolutely not.
It's not because what really got me going in covering the Fever this year, not once but twice they beat Las Vegas shorthanded.
Yeah, they did. And this is not a bad thing, and we'll see. But now that the playoffs are coming up, I think the Liberty's going to look like a little bit of a different team because they know how to get it together for the big ones.
Well, they're defending champs. What do I always say? To be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
You also see the champs.
Yep.
Yes. And so my guess is that you'll see a different Liberty team and a different Sandy Brondello, their coach, through that. I got to take issue with you, Brian.
What did I do now?
Yeah. You mentioned Angel Reese. You mentioned Angel Reese in a somewhat, should we say, negative light, and I want you to explain what you mean about Angel Reese, who's
Angel Reese,
who after the season will be directed by an Oscar-winning director, Catherine Bigelow, who doesn't just select anybody for their movies.
May I cut in for a sec?
You may.
Let me say this.
Okay.
I've been dancing around this joke all year as many times as she's come on to talk about, and I remember I remember Allie saying so many times over after a close Chicago Sky loss, and I completely agree. Angel, please make your free throws.
Yes.
I would never forget her pleading that. But from the look of this season, and then I'll toss it to Victor, Tyler Marsh wanted Angel Reese to play point guard?
No.
We saw that at the top of the season when they played Indiana and they got blown up the joint.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the problem. That's a big problem, is you got to play Angel where Angel is most effective.
It's comfortable, and you have to put Angel in a position to win. Hey, look, the jokes write themselves, but let me be serious. Mm-hmm. You got to put Angel Reese in the best position to win. Kim Mulkey did that for 3 years at LSU. Where was Angel Reese? She was in the post.
Yeah.
She was beating people up down low. Okay, that's where she made her money at LSU, and that's where she needs to make her money now. You can't have Angel Reese out at the top of the floor when you got A, the general and Courtney Vandersloot sitting there, B, the general in training and Haley Van Lith sitting there, and Reese is upset with everything that's going on with Chicago. I know it, but At the same time, if your teammates are taking the blows to finish the season, then you got to show that you're the bigger person and you're one of the captains, and you right with them. And then off season, get your team ready for next summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's going to go because you guys nailed it right on the head. You got to put her in the best position. My question would be, where is that? Because even in the low post, she's been getting bullied there. Her and Carmela Cardoso have been getting absolutely bullied in the low post, and that's where my hiccup with Angel Reese comes from.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's talented.
Yes.
She's got she had a college championship, for God's sakes. We know that she's talented. We know that she's a good basketball player. The problem is, what is it with her now? Because we're not seeing the same ferocity now.
I think she, as she mentioned in post game, is how frustrated she is. I may clean this up for broadcast. I'm not sure, but frankly, she's surrounded by a team that has no leadership at this point, and she's damn frustrated about it. And she just told it like it was in the postseason or in the post game that she's had it here. She has absolutely had it here. She'd like to be playing her entire career with the Sky, but if they don't get their you-know-what together, then she's got to look out for her own future. I'm sure that the Aces would love to have her as another powerhouse. They could get her in the off season. You don't know about that. You don't know whether Courtney Vandersloot can come back. It's going to be. The question is, do you get rid of the whole team, or do you get rid of the coach, or do you do both?
That's my question. That was what do you do from here? Do you blow it all the way up with just the players? Do you blow it up with the management? Or do you do, as I often say, push the plunger with the whole damn thing?
Yeah. I think it's the same thing here that, you need to get somebody in there. I say start with the GM. Start with the GM. I may respect Jeff, and I may appreciate what he's tried to do, but frankly, it hasn't worked. Not for 2 seasons. It hasn't worked, and he and Tyler both need to go. This is what the Bears keep doing year after year. You've got your 2 years. Don't get me started on the NFL. Don't get me started on the Vikings versus the Bears last night.
You know what? I was thinking about asking this question, and I'm like, you know what? No.
I think that's how we should close things out, because we gave our opinions on the Vikings and Bears. The first sound of the show was all NFL.
Yep.
He lives in Chicago. Victor gave his opinion. He lives in Chicago. I want my friend Alison Moran to cut loose on what the hell happened last night in Soldier Field. I am letting her cut loose. I'm going to just sit back and have my popcorn or my trail mix. I have to eat healthy. My wife says so.
I'll say one thing.
Yes, sir.
12 penalties, 127 yards.
Yes.
12 penalties. 12.
And how many touchdowns scored off of how many points, or off of how many turnovers? How many penalties?
There were 12 penalties last night by the Bears. 3 of them came on the drive that put Minnesota in front.
Okay. There you go. This is an abomination. The first half looked like a great team. Looked like it was, all full steam ahead. Caleb Williams broke down in the second half. He started making those same mistakes that he did last year. The false starts, the ridiculous, somewhere along the road, either they got too comfortable with the lead that they had, and Minnesota knew how to take advantage of that. Look, at Minnesota was a playoff team last year, and that was without JJ McCarthy. And I covered JJ McCarthy. I knew he was a star, and he proved everything that anybody's ever said about him. And in his first major NFL game, following rehab from a very bad knee injury last season, blew him out for the whole year. Here's what the Bears have got to do, and that is the Bears have got to go back to their drawing boards, and they've got to assess their quarterback. They've got to assess the offensive line, because that's where I saw the biggest failures last night. They have got to learn how to keep a lead.
Yes.
They've got to learn how to protect it, because they didn't do bleep last night.
Well, one thing that encapsulates your point so well was, I believe it was 2nd and 20 after a hold on the Bears.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is in trouble of being sacked, right?
Yeah.
He gets away from the coverage, from the pressure. He's rolling to his left, and instead of him taking a sack that might lose you 4 or 5 yards, he throws the ball to nobody in sight and gets an intentional grounding call that not only you lose a down, but now you're knocked back 10 more yards. So now it's 3rd and 30.
So in essence, that play alone cost them 15 yards.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you do that? This is what, your second year?
Yeah. This was a rookie mistake.
Yes.
And what I saw was someone who's having, with Caleb especially, I saw somebody who's having a hard time managing and directing a line. He became a little boy again, and it's like, I'm kind of going, come on. Look what JJ did. JJ took command in that second half. And he's like, don't worry, guys. Everything's going to be okay. You go here, you go there. He's a little general on the field, which is what you really need. And Caleb has to do the same. The other thing that I saw him doing, which I hate, is he's not reading the field fast enough.
Yeah.
He is so slow. It's like, because I see him hesitating just enough time. He's putting himself in the position of getting sacked. He's putting himself, he's putting some real danger to his receivers of getting tackled. You've got, in that moment of hesitation, and I saw him do it multiple times last night. It can't be. Go ahead.
And here's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why he was throwing the ball short of the sticks
Always.
all night, even on the touchdown scoring drive. There were 2 passes on that opening drive where he threw the ball short of the sticks. If you're 3rd and 5, why are you telling your receivers to settle short of the first down?
Yeah.
do that.
Here's the other
That's
thing.
not winning football.
Here's
Nope.
the other thing. Here's the other thing too, and we talked about before about how he's already let me know he can't read blitzes. So
No.
what do Minnesota Vikings do? They blitz.
They sent
Yeah.
They sent the house. It's like, and I'm gonna hurt myself saying this, but you saw a lot of Dak Prescott in
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Yes.
Once it goes left, once it goes sideways,
it stays sideways.
He completely deflates.
Yep.
That's the difference.
It stays sideways.
The one thing I can say about Dak in the Philadelphia game is that he didn't really deflate. He kept trying to push the game. Unfortunately, CD's hands failed him. But with Caleb, and you saw this with every single quarter, he started getting more deflated, more defeated, and he stopped
playing
going with that.
Yeah.
He stopped playing with that urgency that he did before.
He stopped playing.
Yes.
And as I said at the top of the show, Caleb Williams was great for 6.5 minutes. He was spectacular for 6.5 minutes. He was sensational for 6.5 minutes, which was the touchdown drive.
Yeah. And it was fine for Pee Wee football, but you're ready. Now you're playing 60 minutes of football. So please, by all means, play it all.
A comparison that got hit. Do you know a comparison someone made to me over the course of the weekend?
Oh, man.
And y'all need to hold on to your seats for this. Napoleon, you especially. Someone said to me, and I swear to God this happened while I was warming up for Sunday Night Football.
Okay.
Don't need you to push the button. Someone said to me,
hang on, I got you.
If you put Caleb Williams on that loaded 49er team, Caleb Williams will succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Close quote.
You could put.
Oh, hell nah.
And my response came via Bishop Bullwinkle. Hit it.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
With that 49er line, you could put Jacoby Brissett behind center, and he'd do well.
And here's the thing about Caleb Williams, and we'll close it out here.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to rewind back to one game last year. And Victor, you know the game I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving Day in Detroit.
In Detroit. You had the game in your hands. And not only does Eberflus fail you by not calling timeout, but Caleb fails you because he's on the floor. He's on the field. How do you not realize the awareness and call timeout? I don't understand.
In the immortal words of one Bill Engvall,
Here's
your sign.
I'll ask you this, Allie.
Yeah.
Is it just Tyler Marsh that can call timeouts, or can Angel can they call timeout too?
You gotta wonder, right? It's
Question.
Yeah.
I thought this was after my drop moment. Victor just stopped it.
I love it. We got a lot of mic drop moments in this
And
hour.
we lost the dog too.
Ed.
I'll be on campus today and tomorrow, but my dearest, thank you so very much. A happy Tuesday and a week to you and yours. And we were wife and I were celebrating the Colts and the 49ers win in the household on Sunday and coupled it with the Fever win. So Allie, thank you so much for being a big part of the show. Don't forget, folks, Token Female every Tuesday, second hour of Snowman in the morning, and you can see it in podcast form separately. Thank you, my dear. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys too. Shout to Sue Bird, Maya Moore, and Sylvia Fowles as well for their Hall of Famers.
Nice.
Forever and ever. Thank you, Allie.
Take care.
Have a good day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you are too. And always remember, whenever you are in distress. Take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air. Bye.
Damn.
We out.
Just remember, Chicago, this is your quarterback. Get rid of him.
The confessional returns on Friday. Live.
Oh,
Oh
hell.
boy.
See you later.
See ya.
Remember to follow the Queen